Welcome to the Senior Health video. This video will talk about prevent faster aging with these 5 simple daily movements. Have you ever wondered why your body suddenly feels older than your age, even though you try to stay active and do everything right? This is a question many Americans over 60 quietly ask themselves because aging does not simply happen on the outside. It slowly reshapes your strength, your balance, and your confidence in ways that often go unnoticed until a single moment forces you to confront it. You may feel a little weaker when getting out of a chair or a bit unsteady when stepping off a curb. These changes may seem small, but they carry a warning you should never ignore. What most people do not realize is that after 60, your muscles begin disappearing faster than you think, increasing your risk of falls and long-term disability. A fall can happen in 1 second, yet the consequences can last for months or even years. Many seniors never feel the danger building inside their own bodies because the decline is slow, silent, and easy to dismiss until it becomes impossible to ignore. That is why understanding what is happening beneath the surface is so important for you right now. But here is the hopeful truth that many studies across the United States continue to confirm. Your body still holds the ability to rebuild strength, restore vitality, and even reverse years of physical decline if you give it the right kind of training. You do not need extreme workouts or expensive treatments. Instead, you will discover 5 powerful movements that activate dormant muscle stem cells, improve balance and reaction time, strengthen your joints, and support a younger biological profile. As you follow this guide, every movement builds on the last, giving you a clear path to protect your independence, regain confidence, and feel stronger in your everyday life. Number 1, heel raises with eccentric focus. When you take a step and feel your legs working harder than they used to, it may seem like a subtle change, yet it is often the first quiet signal that your lower body is losing the strength it once relied on. This matters more than most people realize because your calves play a far greater role than simply helping you walk. They influence your balance, your stability, and even your ability to prevent dangerous falls. That is why this first movement must become a priority for you. It reconnects you with the foundation of your strength and prepares your body to move with confidence again. But to understand why this exercise is so powerful, you need to see what is happening inside your muscles every single day. However, knowing this alone is not enough because there is another factor you must understand next. What many adults never hear is that after 60, your calf muscles begin to lose power at a rate that directly increases your risk of sudden falls. This is not a mild decline. It affects the way you step off a curb, the way you stand from a chair, and the way you recover when you stumble. Your calves act like your personal safety brakes. They fire instantly when you lose balance and help you stay upright. But when they weaken, your body cannot react fast enough to protect you. That is why a simple slip can turn into a devastating fall that changes your life in seconds. Many people only realize this after an accident when they discover their muscles were not prepared to respond. However, knowing this alone is not enough because there is another element that makes this movement even more vital for you. Researchers across the United States have discovered something remarkable about heel raises with eccentric focus. When you lift yourself up quickly, then lower yourself slowly, for 6 full seconds, you activate a deep level of muscle stimulation that ordinary movements cannot reach. This slow lowering phase is where true rebuilding happens. In a study following adults into their 60s and 70s, this technique increased calf strength by more than 50% and improved reaction time by more than 40%. That means you become significantly faster at catching yourself when something unexpected happens. These changes are not theoretical. They happen in real people who regain strength and stability through consistent practice. However, knowing this alone is not enough because there is another key detail that determines how effectively your body responds. The exercise itself is simple and safe for you to do at home. You stand behind a sturdy chair, placing your fingertips lightly on the back for balance. You rise onto your toes in 1 controlled second, then lower yourself slowly as you breathe out. This long descent tells your muscles to rebuild and strengthens your Achilles tendon while improving bone density in your feet and lower legs. Over time, you will feel your steps becoming steadier and stairs becoming easier because your calves are finally supporting you the way they are meant to. This one simple movement becomes one of the most reliable tools for protecting your independence. However, knowing this alone is not enough because your body has another hidden weakness that affects every step you take, and that is exactly what the next movement will reveal. Number 2, glute bridges with hold. Now that you understand how rebuilding your lower legs protects your balance, it is time to move upward into the most overlooked source of strength in your entire body, your glutes. When you sit, stand, walk, climb stairs, or simply try to stay upright, your glutes are working behind the scenes to keep everything aligned. Yet for most adults over 60, these muscles slowly shut down without you ever realizing it. That is why this second movement is essential. It targets the exact area responsible for your posture, your stability, and your ability to move without pain. But to see why this matters so much for you, you first need to understand what happens when these muscles stop activating the way they should. However, knowing this starting point is not enough because there is a deeper truth that affects your daily life. What most people never hear is that after years of sitting and reduced activity, the glute muscles can fall into a condition called gluteal amnesia. This means the muscles forget how to contract fully even when you try to move them. When this happens, the workload shifts to your lower back and knees. Suddenly, the pain you thought was age-related is actually a signal that your strongest muscles are no longer doing their job. This is why so many seniors struggle with back stiffness, wobbly steps, and difficulty standing up from low seats. Your body is trying to move without its central powerhouse, and day by day it becomes harder for you to stay stable. However, knowing this alone is not enough because the consequences go much further than discomfort. Researchers in the United States have found that targeted glute activation can dramatically reverse these problems. When you perform a glute bridge with a strong hold at the top, you teach your glutes to fire again. The lift builds strength, but the 5-second hold is where the true transformation begins. It triggers a deep muscular contraction that sends signals throughout your hips, pelvis, and lower spine, telling them to realign. In a 16-week study, seniors who practiced glute bridges with holds increased hip extension strength by more than 60%. Even more striking, their walking speed improved by nearly 30%, and their lower back pain dropped by more than 70%. These are not small changes. They are life-changing improvements that allow people to move again with confidence and freedom. However, knowing these results alone is not enough because the way you perform this movement determines how your body responds. To do this exercise safely, you lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the floor at a comfortable distance. You press through your heels and lift your hips slowly until your body forms a straight line from shoulders to knees. At the top, you squeeze your glutes as if you are trying to hold a coin tightly between them. You keep that contraction for a full 5 seconds while breathing steadily. This hold forces your muscles to wake up. As you lower yourself for 3 controlled seconds, your spine realigns and your hips learn to stabilize again. Over time, you may feel your posture improving and your steps gaining more strength because your central muscles are back online. For many people, this simple movement becomes the turning point where back pain fades and confidence returns. However, knowing this alone is not enough because there is another silent weakness in your body that affects your balance far more than you realize, and you will uncover it in the next movement. Number 3, the modified bird dog. By now you have strengthened your lower legs and reawakened your glutes, but there is still a missing link you must address before true stability can return. That link is the connection between your brain and your body. Even if your muscles grow stronger, they cannot protect you unless your brain can sense where your body is in space and respond quickly when something feels off. This is why the modified bird dog is the third essential movement. It trains your entire core while rebuilding the neurological pathways that keep you steady and safe with every step you take. And to understand how urgently your body needs this, you must see what happens when this connection starts to fade. However, understanding this decline is only the beginning because the way it affects your daily life is far more serious than most people realize. What many seniors are never told is that after 60, you begin to lose proprioception. This is your body's natural awareness of position and balance. When proprioception weakens, your body becomes less sure of itself. Your steps feel uncertain, your knees wobble, your spine struggles to stay aligned. You may even feel like the ground moves under you when you walk on uneven surfaces. These small moments of instability are not random. They are signs that your internal navigation system is failing. Without it, your chances of stumbling or falling increase dramatically because your body cannot correct itself in time. Countless adults experience this decline quietly without realizing how dangerous it is becoming. However, knowing this alone is not enough because the consequences reach deeper than balance issues. American research has shown that the modified bird dog can restore proprioception and strengthen the deep stabilizing muscles of your spine. When you slowly extend your opposite arm and leg, hold that position, and return with control, you activate the multifidus muscles along your back. These muscles are tiny but powerful. They stabilize each vertebra and help your body stay upright. Most exercises ignore them completely, but the bird dog targets them directly. In a 10-week study, seniors who practiced this movement improved balance scores by more than 50% and reduced fall risk by over 70%. These results are significant because they show that your body can relearn stability even after years of decline. And the more consistently you practice, the stronger your mind-body connection becomes. However, knowing this research alone is not enough because the way you perform this movement determines how quickly you improve. To do this exercise, you start on your hands and knees with your back flat. You extend your right arm forward and your left leg backward slowly over 4 seconds. You hold that position for 5 seconds while your core tightens to keep your hips level. Then you return to the starting position in another slow 4-second motion. This pace is crucial. The slower you move, the harder your stabilizing muscles must work. It also forces your brain to create new pathways that improve coordination and balance. Over time, you will notice your walking becoming more secure and your posture feeling more natural. Even standing still may feel easier because your spine is finally supported the way it should be. Many seniors describe this moment as the first time they feel truly steady again. However, knowing how to perform this movement is still not enough because there is another critical element of physical power that begins to disappear rapidly after 60, and the next movement reveals exactly how to bring it back before it is too late. Number 4, step-ups with knee drive. After rebuilding your balance and reawakening the deep stabilizing muscles of your spine, there is still one critical piece missing from your strength foundation. You may notice it every time you climb stairs, step into a car, or rise from a low seat. It is that sudden feeling of effort that did not exist in your younger years. That loss of explosive movement is one of the clearest signs that your fast-reacting muscle fibers are fading, and this decline is far more dangerous than it seems. That is why the step-up with knee drive is the 4th essential movement. It brings back the quick power your body depends on to keep you safe. But to see why it matters so deeply for you, you must understand what happens when explosive strength disappears. However, knowing this alone is not enough because there is another layer of risk hidden beneath the surface. What many Americans never realize is that after 60, the body loses fast-twitch muscle fibers at an accelerated rate. These fibers are responsible for quick reactions and sudden bursts of strength. They help you catch yourself when you trip, push off a step with confidence, and move with the rhythm and power you once took for granted. When they begin to disappear, your movements become slower and less stable. You may feel like your feet are dragging or your legs are not responding as quickly as your mind expects. This fading power is one of the leading reasons seniors struggle with stairs and sudden changes in terrain. It is not weakness. It is a loss of the exact muscle fibers that protect you. However, recognizing this decline is still not enough because the right type of movement is required to reverse it. Research across the United States has shown that step-ups with knee drive specifically target the fast-twitch fibers that fade with age. When you place your foot firmly on a step drive through your heel lift, your body upward, and finish with a strong knee lift, you trigger a neuromuscular response that wakes up these dormant fibers. It is the knee drive that makes this movement so potent. It forces your hips, core, and legs to work in harmony. A study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity followed older adults who practiced this exercise 3 times a week. Their stair climbing speed increased by more than 40%, and their risk of hip fracture decreased by 35%. These results prove that your legs can regain the quick power they once had. However, knowing these statistics is still not enough because your technique determines whether your body truly adapts. To perform this movement safely, you begin by standing in front of a sturdy step about 8 inches high. You place your right foot fully on the step, ensuring your whole foot is supported. You push through your right heel to lift your body upward, then drive your left knee toward your chest while keeping your posture tall. You lower yourself with control and repeat. This controlled rise and fall teaches your body to generate power quickly while maintaining alignment. As weeks go by, you will feel your legs becoming more responsive and your steps becoming sharper. Everyday tasks that once felt draining begin to feel easier because the explosive power you thought was gone is returning. Many seniors describe this moment as the first time they feel genuinely strong again. However, even understanding this movement is still not enough because there is one final factor that influences your strength, your balance, your posture, and even your brain health, and the next movement reveals why it may be the most powerful anti-aging exercise of all. Number 5, the farmer walk with pause. After restoring explosive strength in your legs, there is still one final weakness that affects every part of your body. You may notice it when you carry groceries, lift a heavy pan, or try to walk with confidence on an uneven surface. It is that subtle feeling that your whole body is not working together the way it used to. This loss of coordinated strength is one of the biggest threats to your independence. And that is exactly why the farmer walk with pause is the 5th and most powerful movement. It does something no other exercise on this list can do. It strengthens your muscles, improves your posture, boosts your bone density, and stimulates your brain at the same time. But before you understand why this movement is so essential for you, you need to see what is happening inside your body when this type of strength begins to fade. However, understanding this first step is just the beginning, because the hidden effects run much deeper than most people imagine. What many seniors never realize is that grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of healthy aging. When your grip weakens, it reflects a decline in your nervous system, your muscle endurance, and even your cognitive function. This is why simple tasks like carrying bags or holding onto a railing feel harder over time. When your grip fades, your stability fades with it. Your shoulders begin to round, your spine shifts out of alignment, your balance weakens because your upper body is no longer supporting you the way it used to. This is not just a sign of aging, it is a warning. And if it goes unaddressed, your risk of falling, losing coordination, and developing poor posture increases dramatically. However, recognizing this decline alone is not enough, because your entire body must relearn how to work together again. According to researchers in the United States, the farmer walk with pause is one of the most effective ways to trigger full body activation. When you walk while holding weights in both hands, your legs, core, spine, and shoulders all engage at the same time. But the real magic happens during the 3-second pause. When you stop, squeeze the weights, and hold your posture tall, you activate a deep neuromuscular response that strengthens your grip, wakes up your stabilizing muscles, and signals your brain to increase focus. A 24-week study found that seniors who practiced this movement increased grip strength by more than 70%, improved walking speed by more than 30%, and even boosted cognitive test scores by more than 20%. These changes are remarkable because they show that your body and mind can grow stronger together. However, knowing the science behind this improvement is still not enough, because performing the movement correctly is what creates lasting change. To perform this exercise safely, you begin by selecting 2 equal weights that feel challenging but manageable. You stand tall with your shoulders pulled back and your core engaged. You take 20 controlled steps forward. Every 5 steps you stop, completely hold the weights firmly, and squeeze them for 3 seconds while keeping your body tall and steady. Then you keep walking. This pattern activates muscles you rarely use and strengthens parts of your body that protect your balance every day. Over time, you may notice that lifting objects becomes easier, your posture becomes straighter, and your walking feels more stable and powerful. Many seniors describe this movement as the moment they finally feel strong from head to toe again. However, understanding this movement alone is still not enough, because there is one final connection that ties all 5 exercises together, and it reveals why this entire routine may be the closest thing to a real-life anti-aging solution you will ever find. You have now seen how these 5 movements work together to rebuild strength, restore balance, and protect the independence you deserve. Each exercise targets a different part of your body, yet all of them share one purpose. They are designed to help you move with confidence again and feel younger from the inside out. No matter your age or current ability, your body can still respond. It can still grow stronger. It can still support you in ways you may have thought were gone forever. As you begin these movements, remember that progress does not require perfection. It only requires consistency and the courage to take the first step. Even small improvements add up quickly. Many seniors notice better balance within weeks and greater energy soon after. Your body wants to heal. It only needs the right stimulus to unlock what is already inside you. You are not alone on this journey, and you deserve a future filled with strength, stability, and freedom. Before you go, take a moment to imagine how your life could feel when your legs respond faster, your back feels supported, and your steps become steady again. That future starts today. And if you want more simple, science-backed tools to protect your mobility, improve your health, and stay strong as you age, make sure you save this video so you can follow the routine. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss new updates on nutrition, senior fitness, and daily health habits that can transform your well-being. Your next video is coming soon, and it will reveal a powerful strategy you can use every morning to protect your heart, boost your energy, and start the day with confidence. Stay tuned and stay strong.